What is up, Cowboys Nation? Your boy Mike Tag here. Hopefully you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Jimmy Dee is back. And before we get rolling, make sure you hit that subscribe. Make sure you hit that like. Make sure you hit that share, all that kind of good stuff. And definitely appreciate all the love. It's been a fun past couple weeks with college football and with the Cowboys kind of resurgence, stuff like that. So it's just been fun hanging out with you guys. Plus, it's December. I got my little sweatshirt on. It's freezing in Florida, so we get this thing rolling. So before we get into all the fun stuff, Jimmy, how are you doing, my friend? How was your Thanksgiving? All that kind of good stuff.
Oh, it was great, man. You know, besides yesterday's woeful performance, the rest of the weekend was great. Great Thanksgiving. It's all about the family. Hope everybody else had equally as good a Thanksgiving weekend as I did. Chuck, Chris, Cuts, Vince, Doug, Ultra, EJ, what's up, guys? Rick,
yeah,
how you guys doing?
I was just thinking about it before we get going, and I don't have it up, but I know my team is fallen apart. But I'm like, what is going on with the Cowboys K fan? Because I think you were in first place at one point. I don't know.
Oh, you're gonna bring this up already?
Well, I was just looking at. So it looks like is EJ going? Is he in the spot for the back-to-back title? And then it looks like Doug and Jimmy, you kind of fallen by the wayside a little bit.
Wayside?
Oh, you second place. Third place.
Whoa! Look it! Don't hide behind the standings.
Frankie, you got Cuts. You got Dak Attack, and then it's a lot of bad teams. You didn't hear my name mentioned.
No, you got Mike Tag hiding behind the standings right now. He doesn't want to live up to the fact that I kicked his ass this weekend.
I know it's been
fantasy football.
This has been my worst fantasy league. All of my teams have been bad. All of them, man. But the only thing that's been good is my gambling has been good. My gambling has been good. I had the Bills. I took Uncle Cheech's lock. I had the Bills last night. They whooped ass, and I did this parlay. And then the other thing I did, I kind of hedged a bet. So I did a parlay bet that would have paid out a lot. It had to do with like Miami, had all the rival games like Miami, and then it had Alabama, Texas, had like all the big teams winning, which didn't happen, covering the spread. So then I said, you know what? Miami-Syracuse, I never liked that game. I said, man, that game worries me. Syracuse has a really good offense, really good quarterback. I think he's an Ohio State transfer. I said, it's going to be a close game either way. I don't know if Miami will win, but I'm going to bet $10 and just go ahead and just the odds, just straight up Syracuse wins. So I ended up winning $40 out of it. So my $10 turned into 40, covered some of my other bets, and then I threw 70 on the Bills last night. They ended up winning. So It was a good weekend for gambling. Not a great weekend from a college football team, but you know, it is what it is. It's football, man. Hopefully they live to play another day. Some things will have to happen for them to get in the playoffs, but their defense has just been their Achilles heel all year, and it was gonna end up biting them again. And you know, you score that many points, you expect to win, but it just didn't happen. So.
Yeah, you know what? The first thing when you said $40, I said, you must be decorating up the whole town at a cost of $40.
I know. And I hope the Canes get in the play. I mean, it'd be good for them to get in the playoffs, Rick. Obviously, I love my Canes, their defense. And the weirdest thing about Miami is their offense obviously is one of the best in the nation. Their defense, they've got a lot of skill guys. They've got a lot of talent, but their coordinator is just, I don't know. That's why I just don't know. Is it schemer players? I'm not a big, football analyst and digging into film and doing all this kind of stuff. So I don't really look into all that stuff. So I know they got highly touted guys there. They got 5-star guys, 4-star guys. They've got the talent. It just seems schemed to me because it just seems like there's just people wide open and all that stuff. So I don't know.
Look, they got the talent, but they got the tools. Ultra. Ultra is like kicking you while you're down. I don't believe.
Oh, I don't worry about people like Ultra. They mean nothing. They mean nothing because at the end of the day, Miami was 10-2. Yeah. Them or Alabama's going to get in. They should get in over Alabama because if you look at Alabama's schedule, you look at Miami's schedule. Miami against bowl eligible teams is 4-2. Alabama's 1-3. Neither one of them probably, deserve it, but it's all when you lose. Miami lost 2 games by a combined 9 points. Alabama got beat by a 6-6 Vanderbilt team, and then they got steamrolled by Oklahoma. Miami's lost to 2 teams with winning records. I mean, Georgia Tech had Georgia beat. Georgia Tech's not a bad football team. Georgia Tech should have beat Georgia. By all accounts, they should have easily beat them. And that's the same Georgia team that slapped Texas around, which they'll probably do again in the SEC championship. So it's just you have a bunch of good teams. And that's why I say college football today is so much different than the years past because the level of playing, it's gotten, the gap is closing. Any team can beat anybody. Alabama looked like crap against Auburn. Texas A&M, that could have went either way. Obviously, Miami losing to Syracuse could have went either way. The margin of error on these teams, it's so close. Oregon Ducks, they seem to be the cream of the crop, but they got Penn State. They should beat Penn State, but it's going to be a great weekend. Saturday is going to be a great weekend of football. Then you go into Sunday. It's going to be this is my favorite time of year for football, December, when everything kind of matters. And now you're throwing the 12-team playoff in there. That's just going to amp up college football. Could have went anyway. So
you'd be
talking about one that wasn't a touchdown. 2, there was a fumble. If A&M would have got it, the game would have been what, 21-14. Don't you give me this crap. Texas did not look great in that game. Alabama didn't look great in that game. The only team I'll give some love to is Michigan. Michigan beat Ohio State. That's almost like saving my football season altogether because I don't like Ohio State. So them beating Ohio State and the look on their faces was just absolutely all I could ask for and all I wanted. So It was actually, it was a great thing.
I felt badly.
Salvaged the year. That's salvaged the year.
You guys actually, you'd be proud of me, Mike Tag. I did watch some college football this weekend. I was hanging with my old man, a big Canes fan. For him, it's all about the U. I felt awful, man. You guys were up fast. You were up early, and just what the hell happened?
It's just like there was a couple weird things that happened. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I'm just going to say it was just kind of odd. And they came out and apologized after they did it. First thing in the morning, ACC ticket went on sale for the championship game. It was SMU versus Clemson. That was long before Miami game was even played. Now, understand, Miami wins the game, it was going to be SMU Miami. Michael Irvin talked about this too. And then they jump up 21-0. And then they're like, all right, well, you're going to make them go methodically down. They're going to have to score. They have to score. They drop back and pass. I mean, their quarterback, very good quarterback. Nothing against Syracuse. Syracuse played well. They deserve to win, whatever. But there wasn't really any no holding penalties, no offensive holding. It was just, the whole game was just it was like storybook the way that you could have scripted it if you wanted to. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. And, see what happens. That's all you can do. You see,
it isn't what it is. You need a full-scale investigation is what we need.
And then there was a flag thrown. It reminded me of like Ohio State. There was a defensive flag thrown, like, I don't know, about a half hour after the play was over. I think they were already, on like 5 plays later. Then they turned it around and say, hey, man, we got a flag about 5 plays ago. So, it happens. But I tell you that the nice thing is with Miami is they built something. They got a lot of good recruits. They just took a 5-star quarterback away from a team. So they're building their roster. They got Notre Dame at home. They got Florida at home, and they've got one other team at home. Maybe it's Louisville, but Notre Dame, Florida. So I'm already pumped up for next year.
Yeah.
Playing Notre Dame is just
old school.
That's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite games. So it's college football is great, man. I love it. And what about all the fights? What about all the fights and planting the flag and stuff? I don't remember this so much, but I loved it, man. I love seeing that stuff, man.
Now, look, I don't want to get off topic. I'm seeing 2 things here because I want to stay on that topic because I actually watched some college football. Did this just happen, or are you guys just guessing this right now?
That's all.
It's all.
It's all
It's all posturing.
All posturing.
Okay. So yeah, I says, damn it. I was talking to my dad. I said, I think, am I watching the National Hockey League or college football? All there was fights and the flag of Michigan, great. Ohio State. And it was great. And the cops running out there. I'm like, geez, they're pepper spraying all on the field. I mean, you got to be kidding me. That was some crazy stuff.
Yeah, it got a little heated, especially. I mean, you're talking Michigan. The thing about the Michigan-Ohio State game, you don't follow college football enough, but that's obviously a huge rivalry. You probably know that already.
But I know that Michigan wasn't a good team. Am I accurate?
Not a good team. Okay. Not a good team. Ohio State is cruising to the championship, the Big Ten championship. They are salivating. They were 24.5-point favorites. And a lot of people took Ohio State because they're going to rub their nose in it. They've lost 3 in a row to them. They're going to humiliate Michigan, beat them while they're down, kick them while they're down, destroy them. And Michigan went in and absolutely just played a good football game. It was close. It was 13-10 or something like that, or and it was 13-13, whatever the score was. It was just, and then Ohio State would throw an interception in the red zone. Michigan would end up throwing an interception in the red. It wasn't a clean football game, but it was just, and you could feel the tension. It's just like I say, when you're in these rivalry games, if you don't jump out and you don't get comfortable, the pressure flips. So you could see the pressure getting on Ohio State. It was Ohio State. And then when they lost, I mean, it's become a tradition over the last few years. I think Baker Mayfield might have got it going back with Oklahoma, but they went in and they planted that flag, right? And it's on. I mean, when you do that, it's going to be a fight.
Of course.
They don't talk about before the game. See, this is the thing. Before the game, when Ohio State, their band does their big, they do their big band pregame performance, and they do a bear or do something taking a shit on a Wolverine flag. They kind of set themselves up or whatever animal they did, and they do that. No one talks about that. Like, that's no big deal. That's fair. No sense of starting fights over that. But they get mad because they get beat, embarrassed at home, and they drop the flag on them, and they get all pissed off about it. I mean, get a life.
Yeah, we don't hear nobody talking about that.
No, but you've seen it. You've seen it more and more with these teams. They're just everything that it's just getting more heated and more heated and more heated. But I've never seen where they had to put pepper spray out. That was
that was nuts. But again, it was fun. I might have to sit down on Saturday a little bit. Dominic's got a game later in the day, so I'll have some time to watch during the day. Maybe I'll watch some college football.
Yeah, I would watch college. There's nothing better, and I love the NFL. There's nothing better than college football rivalry games. I mean, they just are. Now the championship games that you've got coming this weekend, it's kind of weird because you've got Texas, who got their ass whooped by Georgia. There's not really a rivalry. It's just more of a, they beat the hell out of that team. Georgia's not that good. Texas is okay. They kind of threw Manning out there to try and get some run. We'll see what happens. They'll probably get slapped around again. So that game's probably not as intriguing. Then you've got Oregon playing Penn State, which that's not really a natural rivalry because Oregon went in. This is their first year in that conference. Then you have the ACC. You got Clemson and you got SMU. Even if it was Miami, it's like It's so you're not getting those heated rivals that you have this week. This coming week. Last week was the time to have it.
Rivalry week.
That's when the rivalry. I mean, it was at its tipping point. Florida State was another. Florida beat a lot of them pretty good, but it was just another one of those games. A fight broke out after that game. So, you see what happens. You'll see what happens. It really doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter. Texas is just going to get another ass whooping, just like they did, because of the frauds that they are. They're going to play Georgia. Georgia's going to embarrass them. Georgia's not a very good football team. And that's going to be the end of it. Then all you Longhorns will be crying, what happened? What happened? We were Then you're going to be like Eagle fans and say, but we were in a championship game. We almost won our division. So we got to get a participation ribbon. Doesn't that count for something? It counts for nothing. All that matters is who's hoisting that BCA, that trophy at the end of the game, the college football championship trophy. And I promise you this, above all else, Miami's probably not going to do it, but I sure know damn well Texas ain't either. That's just the fact of life. You might not like it. You learn to love it because there ain't nothing else going on. So you guys enjoy that extra game and then start crying and make up excuses and blah, 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 and do all this stuff. So anyway.
No, so they don't even get a participation trophy. It's a ribbon.
These same Texas fans are the Cowboys fans that are attacking Philadelphia fans who want participation ribbons in the Super Bowl, but yet they want to hang a banner that they were runner-up in the SEC championship game. That's what they want to hang up. That's what they want to hang up. That's what they want to do. They want to live their life for that. And if you want to bet $500 on your team winning a national championship, my friend, Venmo me the $500, or we'll give it to an innocent bystander. We give it to Jimmy. I'll throw my $500. You throw your $500. If Texas wins the national championship, Merry Christmas. But the shit ain't happening. So
hey,
deal with it.
I got to say one thing. Anybody who's not on YouTube, if you're on X or if you're on Facebook, you have to come over to YouTube.
Who cares about an SEC championship? Chuck, who cares? So, all right, what are you going to beat a shitty Georgia team that already slapped you around? Who cares? All that matters is championships. If you think your team's going to win a championship, you want to put $500 on it? I got $500. I'll put $1,000 on it. I'll put $10,000 on it. It ain't happening. You're going to be sitting on the couch with 11 other teams, Miami probably being one of them, while someone else is holding up the trophy. So it really don't matter.
Well, one hand on the remote control, the other hand elsewhere, going up and down.
What might have been, what could have been. Ewers was the Heisman Trophy winner. Now you guys will run him out of the field. Get a Texas fans are typical same old bullshit. So.
It's like I was saying, if you got to come to YouTube and see the comments.
Cuts. I'm not talking about your Texas.
Oh, you can't alienate Cuts like that. I'm representing Cuts tonight. Okay, so come to YouTube because we can't put all the comments on because we say we can't. It's impossible. You'll get some laughs. Trust me.
All I remember is the last time Miami played Texas, they beat them so bad in their own stadium they refused to play them again. Miami had more penalty yards. You understand what I said, Jimmy? Miami had more penalty yards than they had yards in the game. That's how, and it was still 45-3. It was still 45-3.
So you're saying it was
an embarrassment. It was an embarrassment to that state, the great state of Texas, I should say. It was an embarrassment to that state, and they've never been the same since.
So you mean they were disgraced to the sport that day when the Canes took care of their business? Is that what we're saying here? Was it that bad? It was that bad.
Absolutely embarrassing. Absolutely.
All right. Well, so some people are going to have to admit that. They're a little bit afraid.
Well, at the end of the day, Jimmy, what did we used to talk about when we were kids growing up?
What about?
Last time we played.
Who won last? That's right. Last time we played. That's all that mattered. And then if our the runner-up was stats. That was the second runner-up.
It's all fun. So I don't know. Should we? I see Uncle Cheech. Should we bring? Since we're talking college, should we throw Uncle Cheech?
Of course.
Get Uncle Cheech in here because I know Uncle Cheech has been very hot. He has been scorching hot with his picks. He made me some money this weekend. I put trust back in Uncle Cheech. I proved him I wasn't a jinx. We hit the lock. He was 3-1. He's looking to keep that streak going. But let's bring him in and find out what's happening. Uncle Cheech, what is the good word?
What's up, guys? You have a good holiday?
I did. How about you? What'd you end up doing?
Yeah, we had lasagna, turkey.
All the trimming?
All day. Nice Italian Thanksgiving.
Very good.
Little Chianti, Uncle Cheech, I hope?
Oh, everything. Little of this, little of that.
Yeah, it is.
But anyhow, in the last 5 weeks, I am 15-5. Hit every lock. Last week I hit the Florida game. Ohio State, I was one of the dummies. That was my only loss.
You trusted that Ohio State coach. You know he stinks.
UMass was my upset, hit that. And I had Buffalo, and they just wiped them out. That was my lock. And I was murder that game.
I did. Yeah, I bet on that one. I won well. I talked about the rivalry weekend. Anything stick out? And obviously your Canes. Now I told you I hedged my bet. I bet a small money on the Orangemen beating the Canes straight up, no spread. That ended up covering all my bets that I made because I did lose a parlay that you told me not to bet a parlay. You always told me that, but I did it anyway because the money paid a heavy return.
I watched that game and some heads better roll, and I don't know why I haven't already.
I know.
This defense in the last 4 or 5 games, atrocious.
Atrocious, no doubt about it.
Atrocious. Coordinator, everybody on the defensive side should go, except for maybe what's his name? Got
Jason Taylor.
Yeah. Let him do the defense.
Now, Uncle
Terrible.
Cheech.
You can't let a team come back when you're up 21.
No.
Now, Uncle Cheech, what about what Mike Tag said a little bit earlier? I don't know if you buy into it, but there was no calls, no holding call, no nothing.
Conspiracy. Michael was talking about it.
Was peculiar. I was watching the game with me and the whale were at the casino watching the game. Wonder what the hell's going on.
Did you see any $100 bills flying out of anybody's pocket?
No, somebody told me, this game's over. We're already up by 21. Then little by little, they keep getting mad. Our defense couldn't stop a parked car. And I better see some heads roll. I'll be writing some letters down there.
I don't know if people know this, but you single-handedly got one of those coaches fired. I forgot which one it was. You got him fired. Was it the guy with the tie, Randy Shannon? You got somebody fired there. I mean, they don't know the heavy hitter. They're talking about
to get Butch fired.
All this stuff. Heads will
Butch.
roll.
Butch.
But this really got to be looked at, and if that don't help, they got to get rid of the head coach.
Yeah, no, you can't. It's unacceptable.
Too much talent. Let a team like that do. Syracuse is a good team. They're 9-3.
Oh no, they're a good team. Their quarterback is a good quarterback. He was transferred.
When you jump on him that quick, 3 touchdowns, and then let him answer.
Yeah.
Or they scored back 45-7, and from third quarter on, some ridiculous like that.
It was crazy.
Well, it could be worse. You could be an Ohio State fan.
Really disgusting.
I don't know how that guy still has a job, the Ohio State coach. Should he be?
He only loses 1 game.
No,
I was talking to a guy today. Who was the coach at Ohio State? He could never beat Michigan, and they finally fired him. That was like the only time he'd lose. They'd be 10-2, 10-2. It was the old guy. It was back in the 90s. Can't remember.
Woody Hayes?
Woody Hayes? Was it Woody Hayes? No, wouldn't have been.
Oh, that was back then.
No, it wasn't Woody Hayes. It was I can't remember his damn name.
He tried to kick a player once.
Cooper. That's it. What was his first name? Help me out. Who was
Gordo Cooper?
What was his first name?
So was he walking down the hallway saying, "Fire me! I'm already fired."
He can't. John Cooper. Thank you. Man,
I don't even remember him.
Me all day. Thank you very much.
You the coach of the Lightning?
It was not. I think it might have been his brother. Might have been. But if you do that, if you can't beat your rival, how long do you roll with that?
Right now, it depends on the money. The way the game is today.
Well, they got plenty of money now.
Oh, they keep selling the tickets.
Oh yeah, it's big money.
There's still a lot of football left. I don't know if they're going to go anywhere, but that's yet to be seen. I really don't know who to pick in this playoff. We might be there, but we got a high chance.
Their only chance, and I don't know how they'll, and I don't know how that'll go. But I mean, if Clemson loses to SMU, now SMU, I haven't seen them play. I don't know how good they are. I don't know how good SMU really is. So
I know our old offensive coordinator is their head coach.
Yeah, Lashley's he's the coach.
He was a good coordinator.
That was the 1 year Van Dyke actually played well. So I don't know how good SMU is. I don't know. This will be their biggest test, Clemson. And Clemson just lost to South Carolina, so I don't know how they're feeling after that. So it'll be an interesting game Saturday night. But I think Miami's outside shot is if Clemson loses, I think Miami could slip in. If Clemson wins, then SMU's going and Clemson's going. That's just the way it is.
Who did I pick at the beginning of the year? Outsider, Boise State.
Boise State, and they should be poised for the playoffs.
That's my outside shot.
Yeah, no, and they got a good offense, hell of a running back. So it's going to be interesting with them. Now let's talk about you, and let's talk about your picks. You didn't do any college. I was kind of surprised. You stuck with the pros this week. You didn't do any of the big games.
Well, there's not many games left in college.
Well, I mean the big weekend game. I thought we'd get Uncle Cheech. You're digging deep in there. You're getting everything going. You get things right. Maybe
you tell me the playoff game before I go, and I'll give you my pick.
All right. So we've got the Jets at Miami. Rumor is that Aaron Rodgers could be benched. I don't know if this is true. Do you got any insight?
I told you he's washed up. I told you that last week.
Jimmy
Dean broke his toe. Never was the same.
After all his comments, I mean, there was a lot of rumbling about that this morning, especially after him basically, trying to, throw shade at his team. And, there's another 10 guys out there on the field. So he might be sitting.
Yeah, they said it's nothing guaranteed. So you got Miami. Miami looked good, last week, but against Green Bay Thursday night. I mean, but they. I mean, it's a cold game. I just don't know. I don't believe in Miami enough to bet on them. You do. But
I do. I think with Tua, that is a much different team. Even the two games, the Green Bay was different, but the other two games they lost were close. One of them against Buffalo.
They're 0-12 in that time under 40 degrees, Miami.
Yeah. No.
But they're not playing at 40 degrees this week.
All right. Well, it's cold in South Florida.
Right?
Yeah. No, I get you. This one is the Raiders who, hey, man, they showed some fight. They showed some fight, and they continue to show fight for that coach. Tampa was in a really good game against the Panthers, you don't want to sleep on. They're a team that they put up. There's no quit in them.
They found a way to win. It's just, as long as they win by 8.
You got Tampa winning easy at home.
Well, I don't have them winning easy, but as long as they win by 8.
Jimmy, I hope you hope he's wrong.
No, in this case, I hope Uncle Cheech you're wrong. I very rarely would say that about my Uncle Cheech, but in this case, I hope you're wrong.
Yeah.
Well, you're betting your heart now. You're hoping you're wrong, so your team moves up.
Exactly. I'm selfish.
Your team that got smacked around Sunday.
We'll get to that.
They get smacked around.
We'll get to that.
Quarterback did.
Now you're upset. We haven't gotten to the pros yet, the NFL, but I have to pay respect because I got to say the Eagles are the real deal. They look good. They look good against the Ravens. But you got the Panthers who've been putting up a fight. That's a lot of points in professional football. 12 points is a lot of points. I'm sure you're not thinking Panthers are going to win, but you think Panthers can keep it respectable.
I said they'll keep it close. They're not going to win.
Yeah.
But I think they can keep it close.
Yeah.
They have the last couple of games. They played well. And losing efforts, but they kept it close against good teams.
Yeah. I felt bad for that running back who fumbled the ball, Hubbard.
But we're talking gambling here. We don't give a shit who wins, who loses. Just who would bet now.
No, and you're right. And your lock, which I'm surprised you did the lock with one of the teams playing tonight because you just don't know. But obviously things can change. But this team beat the Steelers. So you've got the Steelers getting revenge. They're getting 6.5 at home. What's your thoughts on this?
They got a shorter week. Pittsburgh's at home. Pittsburgh looked good yesterday. I know
they did.
Both teams ran it up, but who the hell's their quarterback?
Wilson.
Yeah.
He looked good. Wasn't quite washed up yet.
Maybe it was Denver. Maybe it was Denver. I don't know.
I told you that.
He put up good numbers. But they let the other team score a lot of points too. So
yeah. So you've got you've got the playoff games. You don't need to give a spread. Just give me who do you think will win. So you've got Oregon and Penn State.
I like Oregon in that game. I don't think I'm not real high on Penn State.
No, they're a little funky. You've got SMU and Clemson. It's Charlotte, so there'll be a lot of Clemson guys there. I can guarantee you that.
SMU's been playing good, so I mean they only lost one game. I think who was it? Boise State. I think the only team they lost to.
Yeah,
I haven't seen them play. I've watched Clemson a couple times, but I'll go with SMU on this one.
All right.
I think you can take them a little farther.
You've got Georgia, Texas. Georgia beat Texas earlier in the year, but Texas get the revenge?
They're going to beat them again.
They're going to. I think you're right. I think that, and that's in. Isn't that in Atlanta?
Edgar, in Atlanta, Edgar. Is it Mercedes-Benz?
I think it's in Atlanta. They usually the SEC. That's a home game if it ends up being in Atlanta.
The home game.
Yeah. I don't know if Texas fans can travel. Do they even travel, any of them? I don't even know if they leave their cow patch.
No, they travel it.
They do. I don't know what's going on.
Those are my 3 picks for the playoffs.
Yeah, it's in Atlanta. So that and the other games aren't that intriguing. The Big 12 is I don't even know who the hell it is. It's like, was it Iowa State and Arizona State? Or is that Pac-12?
Arizona State's been playing good.
Yeah.
That the game? I'll take Arizona.
I think it's Arizona State and something. I don't know.
They've been playing good.
I don't pay attention to football out west of the Mississippi. I could care less.
Hey, Uncle Cheech, I just got to say something. You know, when you had the little rough patch there and there was people complaining and certain people on this channel complaining, and I'm getting some messages behind the scenes, people complaining. I never dogged. I never said anything bad about my Uncle Cheech because I always have faith in you. You're the reason why I'm ahead on my rent. You're the reason why I'm paying the light bills, and I can buy the old lady flowers from time to time and take her out to.
You could me. Buy the old lady flowers. You make me look bad.
No, but it's you done good. You've been on a hot streak the last few weeks, so hopefully the good people have been keeping an eye on you, betting on it. I know. I looked at my account.
Well, the Whale, he's
Hard Rock Bet app is looking pretty good.
Whale texted me a picture of his ticket. He had Buffalo last night. He played the lot.
Yeah,
he had a nice piece of change he made on that. They just killed him last night.
Yeah. What about the game tonight? Browns and the Broncos.
I like the Broncos.
Yeah.
Broncos to cover.
What's the spread? Was it a 5 or something?
Something. It was Broncos are at home. Anyone
Broncos
know the spread off the top of their head? So I don't have to look it up. I thought it was like 5.5 or 6.
Yeah, whatever. I think Denver's been playing good. That's when he got a good coach. Turn that team around in 1 year.
6.
I'll still take Denver.
Oh yeah.
All right. Hey, I'm going to bet Denver because Uncle Cheech. You understand what I just did?
Saying
you take Denver. I'm going to reinvest my winnings, and I'm going to
reinvest.
I'm going to reinvest my win. I feel bad winning the money on Syracuse, so I'm going to bet my Syracuse winnings on the Broncos because if I lose, I say I get rid of that dirty money. If I win, then I just got to keep riding with it. And so you always told me it's never personal with betting. You never bet personal.
Never bet your heart.
Yeah.
You bet your wallet every time.
I'm one of those ROI guys on investment. If I see a good return with a small investment, I like those. I'll take a chance on that rather than dropping $100 to win 150. I mean, to me, why bother? There's no value there for me. So,
and we're all about value here.
Gotta have value. Anyway. All right, Uncle Cheech.
All right, guys.
Some NFL. You have a great one. We definitely appreciate it.
Enjoy the game night. Enjoy the game. I will.
Yes, absolutely.
Zio Cheech, grazie.
You find your exit. There we go. See you, Uncle Cheech. Take care.
Take care.
All right.
Let me see here. I'm working in the cave, so I'm a little.
Yeah. So the question is, am I taking my lumps now? Are we going to go right off the top?
Now let's get into some NFL. So we're going to get into some NFL because I said, let's talk. We're gonna talk through Thursday. Then we'll leave the Atlanta for the Sundays.
Disaster.
Dallas obviously took care of the Giants. It was kind of a funky game. I thought Dallas dominated. We covered that a lot, obviously, on earlier shows, so I'm not going to break a bunch of stuff down. But Dallas handled their business. The Packers handled their business. Detroit got the Bears coach fired. Probably one of the stupidest plays I ever seen in clock management from the Bears coach. Absolutely dumb. So you go on into Sunday. Well, then you had Friday, which was the AFC, which really didn't matter. But another bad, the Chiefs game, there was some bad stuff going on there too. Felt bad for that quarterback, or the Raiders quarterback. But going into Sunday,
well, wait, can we take
really seeing some separation? Say it again, Jimmy.
I want to take one step back, and I know we don't really care much about the AFC right now. But that being said, another questionable situation. The Chiefs win another game with a little bit of controversy at the end. So they're the best, whatever they are, 10-2, whatever they are right now.
Yeah,
best 10-2
team in the league.
The
same refs that were at the Miami game.
Oh, you know what? You're probably right.
Up in that area, it's probably double duty. But no, but then you go into Sunday. So I said, this is really, you're getting separation. So we can talk about the NFC first. And hey, man, I got to call it like I see it. I got to be fair as much as I don't like them. Detroit is the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
The Eagles are just a notch below. But I'll say this, Saquon Barkley, MVP of the NFL right now. I don't know how.
Easily.
I don't know how. Anyone who doesn't give him the MVP as of today is just being biased. I mean, to see what he's done, he's changed that team. He's put them on their back, and he is at his best football. And against a lot of naysayers like me and like others, hey, he's not going to stay healthy. Now, he's still got some time to go. I mean, hey, if he gets hurt, that team will be back in the cellar dweller. But I got to give my props to the Eagles. Their defense and line has been playing tenacious football. So now Josh Allen's not it for me. I got Saquon Barkley. Nothing against Josh Allen. I got Saquon Barkley being the MVP, if I'm being honest, because I look at what he's done. Josh Allen, nice. He's had some turnovers. Saquon Barkley's been very good. So he's my MVP. But looking at the standings and looking where things are at, I mean, Green Bay is going to get their spot, right? Green Bay is going to get the playoff spot. You've got Minnesota. I think they're going to get the spot, right?
That division's no joke, man.
No. So you're going to have 3 teams out of there. Atlanta, which we'll get to. Atlanta and Tampa are in a funky – I mean, just playing bad football. I hate to say that, Jimmy. They're just not playing good football.
We are.
And a lot of talent, just not playing. Remind me of my cane. A lot of talent, just not getting it done. But you have Washington. So I was on a Washington show. And I said Washington will collapse. We'll see if I'm right. But Dallas, their only path to the playoffs is a Washington would have to collapse. Dallas would have to run. They're 2.5 games out. Dallas would have to win this Monday. That puts them 2 out. They play each other the last game. Washington would have to stumble 1. Dallas would have to catch them 1. At the end of the day, they'd have to be tied or at least 1 game back going into the last game if you want the Cowboys to be in the playoffs. Atlanta is opposite. They've got a game up on Tampa because they beat them twice. So they just need to stay even, and they're even right now. But there's not a lot of room for error for either one of these teams.
No, you know what it is, and I saw a comment. You know what it is, and when Kirk Cousins threw that third interception yesterday, you can see. I mean, I watch him every week. You can see he's playing timidly, right? I think he's worried about getting hurt again. And key example yesterday, we're driving down. We should have had that game. Look, our defense played great, and we're down inside of their 10-yard line, inside of their 15. He has an easy 5-yard run for a first down, but he forces it into triple coverage, interception. That was the third interception, 2 of them in the red zone. And you can just see he's playing timid. At that point, I went on X, and I was pissed off at that moment. But part of me still, I know they won't do it because of the money they paid him. At that point, put Penix in, man. That's what I wanted at that point. What did we have to lose at that point? We had nothing going on offense.
No, I mean that's the tricky part that they're in because they're not an average 6-6 team. The division they're in is not very good. So they're still in first place.
We are.
They still have a home field playoff game if they win their division, right?
We have remaining games: Minnesota, Vegas, Giants, Washington. That's 2 wins.
Minnesota, Vegas, who?
Giants and Washington.
Vegas, I wouldn't sleep on, but Vegas is fight, and that's the thing that we talked about. And Steve, I wouldn't be so upset with that. I'll be honest with you. I like Cam. The Vegas fight, and these guys, like everyone wants Tank. Oh, these guys are professionals, man. They're playing for their lives, or this is their living. They're playing for their future. There's no Tank. Like the Panthers. The Panthers could be the team that could justify tanking, and they got no tank in them, and they've been playing their ass off. So none of these are gimme games. Dallas plays the Panthers, and I'm going to be there in Carolina with Cuts and Doug and the crew. And Panthers aren't rolling over on nobody. No, Dallas plays the Bucks, so we might be able to do you a favor. Hopefully, I'll be at that.
I hope so.
But like you play the Raiders, the Giants. Giants are probably the one team that they're just in such disarray. I think that's a gimme. You have Washington, who I think you guys should beat. You got a running game. If you got a running game, you should beat Washington. Yes. And who's your other game?
Minnesota, Giants, Vegas, Washington. So
Minnesota, I mean, that's going to be tough.
And then Carolina. And you know what, Edgar? You know what? You're right. And you brought up a good point. Mooney wide open on the 1 yard line or 2 yard line. Nobody within 5 yards of him. And Cousins throws it at his feet. Low pass. You got to be another touchdown lost on that one. You know. And we ended up I think that was the turnover on downs, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So.
Justin Tucker as a kicker, I just saw that. We didn't get to the AFC yet, but he's done. I mean, you see the mindset of kickers. I mean, he didn't. I don't know if he cost them the game against the Eagles because I think the Eagles outplayed them. I'll be honest. I mean, it pains me to say it, but I think the Eagles did outplay them. But he missed some field goals. He missed field goals before. He missed field goals, in other games too. So it's definitely there's something. When they lose it, they lose it, and I think he's lost it. So.
It's you know what? He missed 2 field goals and an extra point, and for that matter, Younghoe Koo, he's been terrible for the last month, and he very well, in addition to Kirk Cousins, could have lost us 2 of those games by missing some chip shot field goals and ones that he would have made in the past. Like you said, they're like pitchers in baseball. They're like goaltenders in hockey. They get in their own head, man.
It's done. Like I've never been a kicker except in soccer, so I never kicked a football.
Well,
so I don't know. I don't know the mental part of it, but you could definitely see there's a routine, and when that routine when they get a bad kind of vibe or bad, the yips they call it sometimes.
Yeah, the yips.
They're pretty much done.
I mean, you better. It's better to get head than to get in your own head. You know what I'm saying, Mike?
I feel you. And no, the Cowboys got the best kick. What's the matter? Blasphemy. I just said.
Yeah, Ultra. The Eagles did not outplay them. Look, they won.
Dude, they were easily beating them. Easily beating the whole game, except in the very beginning. What do you mean I did not play them? We can't be haters.
You can't be them.
I can't be them. Like look, hey, I would love to dog and trash the Eagles as much as the next guy, but Saquon Barkley has changed that team, and Saquon Barkley is the reason that they're doing well. And hey, Jalen Carter has been playing. I mean, he's been a wrecking machine as well. I mean, I can't hate on them. Now they're a Barkley injury away from being right back down to reality. But the one thing it's done is it shows you the value, which you and I always talked about, the value of a top running back, and the importance of you got to have a top running back. You look at Henry, you look at Barkley, who is the other running back who switched teams. You look at their record and look at the teams that they left. And the teams that they left, go look at their records. They all stink. Yeah. And that's what happens. I mean, you cannot let top-tier running backs go. And that's why you talk about the Cowboys, and they say, oh, well, if the Cowboys, do they get a running back in the first round, second round, third? Dude, they better get the best damn running back they can get. And if there's one that falls to them in the first round and you think he's the best one, then damn it, you go get it. If it's a second round, you go get it. You need a running back. You cannot.
You need 2 running backs.
Yeah, 2 is even better.
Two running backs.
Rico's a good compliment guy, but you need to have a guy that strikes fear in the defense. The Cowboys don't have that one that strikes fear. Bijan strikes fear. The Henry strikes fear. Saquon strikes fear. That's what this team. You got to have that on your team, man. You just can't.
Let me just say this. So we got Tyler Algier too, who rushed for 1,000 yards 2 seasons in a row before Bijan came on board. Jeff, Cousins is awful. He's not playing well. But again, it gets back to Terry Fontenot, our GM. That's the only move that I don't like that he's made in the last 3 seasons, was signing Cousins that kind of money off an injury. And I said it, and Mike, pull up the archives, pull up the videotape. I said I would take Russell Wilson. I said Baker Mayfield. They're both out available last year. I said both of them. And I said I'd even take a damn trade for Dak Prescott. Hey, it is what it is. I don't think they're going to sit an $80 million a year quarterback.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Are you still drinking some of eggnog? You got some eggnog? You got 2 running backs compared to 1. Combined have more yards. Well, shit. Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't even know what to say about that.
Thanks for the education lesson. Barkley's a workhorse, man. He's a workhorse. Barkley is he's been out of a great year. He stayed healthy. Now, if he gets hurt, it's all going to end. But right now, I'm going to give the man his due. I'm not going to sit here and be a hater on Saquon Barkley.
So do you don't think it's a close? And I'm agreeing with you. Right now, I have to agree with you because of not only his stats, but the impact he's made on that team. Because we know without him, they're back down to reality. But you don't give, and remember, I'm a complete 180 from before the season, Josh Allen credit for
I would. I definitely. I got nothing against Josh Allen. He would be right there too. Like, am I going to sit there and throw a pitchfork into the ground if Josh Allen got MVP? No, I'm just saying I'm an NFC guy. So I am biased. I'll be the first one to tell you guys, I watch NFC football. I don't hardly watch AFC football unless there's a lot of, sunny night or it's a big game where there's cross conference. So I've seen Barkley a lot more than I've seen Allen. But I know Allen has thrown a lot of picks lately, right? So I'm looking at it. There's no quarterback that just has those obscene numbers. Remember, like years past, there's just not one that's head and shoulders like obscene numbers. Where I'm looking at what Barkley's doing. And obviously you can throw Henry in it too, but I'm looking at what Barkley's doing and the yards that he's putting up. He's probably going to eclipse 2,000 yards. Now, granted, they got an extra game. If he's on pace to break Eric Dickerson's record. I don't think that's legit because it's 17 versus 16. Unless his yards per game was higher than Eric Dickerson, then that would be legit to me. But he's getting, he'll probably have over 2,000 yards in 16 games, right? I just gotta give the guy his due. He's changed that whole team. He's put them on their back. And he's done a phenomenal job. So I got to show love to him. But I think all his interceptions were in the last few games.
They were recently, yeah. But boy, I tell you, and it gets to the NFC West. We're going to kind of piggyback off of this. So the Niners obviously banged up. CMC, that's tough. Wonderful talent, but he looks like he's out maybe for the season again.
I think he's going to be done.
They get rolled, but that's interesting.
That reminds me what a stupid idea I had. See, he fell to me in a draft and I took him. What a dummy.
Oh, what a dummy. Oh, wait a minute. So the NFC West, that is an interesting division because the 49ers, even at 5-7, are still in the race.
They're still in it, but they played so bad. I don't know.
They're in it though, right? And they have injuries. They have several injuries. We all have injuries on our teams. Actually, we really don't, so I can't complain much. But that's a division you didn't expect to see every team right around 500 in that division. You expected that out of my division.
No, that's right. Like the Madden Jinx for CMC's live and well.
Yep, exactly. And you know what? I picked him up in our league. I had a few good weeks, and now he goes down last night.
Well, you get what you deserve because I don't know why someone cut him. That's still just
to get what I.
But yeah, I think that and the thing is. You look at the Cowboys, you look at the Niners, you cannot overcome the injuries. Like you can battle, and they're battling, right? I mean, they're trying. And, maybe the Cowboys make a nice little story at the end of the year. They finish 8-9, 9-8, whatever it is. And you find out you've got some stars. You got some guys that are, at least show a little bit of life, going into the next season to give you a little hope that they're not a bunch of quitters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you can't lose the amount of players that the Cowboys and the 49ers, I mean, all pro players, Pro Bowl players, your top players, and expect to survive. That's what you give. The Eagles have been relatively healthy, right? They lost a receiver a little bit, and the other one's back, and they lose. But it's not like they're losing just a truckload of people, and it's a battle of attrition. And I think that's one of the things that at the end of the day, that's why I say it. Not always the best team wins, right, Jimmy? Sometimes it's the healthiest team. It's the ones that are on a roll, the ones that, and that's why you look at Detroit. Detroit's a hot team now. They've been hot, but man, they've had a couple games where it's getting closer and closer. And did they peak too soon? You get a team like Philly can sneak right ahead, or Minnesota or someone sneak right ahead and end up beating them in the playoffs.
No, it's true. And like you said, it's getting hot at the right time. And you know what? They could remain hot, but it's every week. Those scores are tightening with them. So I still think they're the best team in the league. Actually, you know what? Yes, they're the best team in the league, but Buffalo, again, I was laughing at them earlier in the season. I said they're going nowhere. Man, they're good. They are good.
Yeah, peeking too soon can be bad in a lot of situations.
I don't know. I've been told that a couple times. I don't know what that means. But that's the thing. Okay, and Saquon, I don't wish it on the guy.
For that. They don't have pills for it in the NFL. That's a problem.
Hey, what do we call one of our friends who live in North Carolina? His nickname when he was playing fantasy football. Couple.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about around here.
Yeah.
But,
hey, Edgar, I don't disagree. I think I don't know if they need another wide receiver, because I think Devontae Smith and I think AJ Brown are good enough. I don't think you need 3 elite receivers. I think they got an elite receiver in Brown, a really good receiver in Devontae Smith. Plus, you throw in their tight end. Obviously, throw in Barkley. But if they had a better quarterback, I think they would be head and shoulders above everybody else. And I'm not dogging Hurts. I'm just not a big believer in Jalen Hurts as a top quarterback of the Allens and the Mahomes and up in that level.
Yeah, but you know what it is? Yeah, Goddard's week to week now. You know what it is, though? And again, I don't wish it on the guy, but Saquon Barkley every year has some sort of injury. I don't wish it on him. I don't, look, you always want to play the best players, when you're playing against teams like, hey, wait a minute, we beat them.
Yeah.
On Monday Night Football.
That's what's crazy. You guys beat them.
You know what? That's right. Who's out here? Who's a big Eagles fan that's out here all the time running their mouth? We won the last game against you, so shut up.
And Tampa beat Detroit.
Tampa that's right. Tampa beat Detroit. Yeah, Detroit didn't even take care of their business.
You just don't know. You just don't know.
But to your point about the Cowboys, the 49ers, whatever, they're not going to roll. They're going to show a little pride. They're going to try to win. They're not going to tank for draft picks.
No, I've never believed in that. I'm glad to see, because look, man, you only have 17 games. You have 17 days, right? And then if you're a college fan, you got some days mixed in there with your college team. But I love football. I love watching football. I enjoy it. It's part of the lifestyle. It's part of all of that. I'm not going to sit and watch a game just hoping my team loses, man. I'd just rather shut it off, but I don't want to shut it. I love watching football. So I'm glad that the Cowboys are showing some fight, because I think that's what you need if you're trying to build something for next year. If you're just going to sit there and have quitters, loser mentality, that carries over, man. It carries over in the next year if you're keeping these guys.
But that is, and we've talked about culture. That's culture.
Yeah.
You're gonna tank for a draft pick. Affects
Detroit tanked for draft picks for 15 years, and what did that give? Nothing. They had to change the coach, and you know what I mean? God, they had a top 3 pick. They took a damn wide receiver every time. Remember those years?
Yes, exactly. Right. All right, SoCal. But that's the thing, man. So you got the NFC. It's funny. Like I said, between the West, almost not the West is not bad. Is a bad a division as us. It's just I can't believe they're 500 in the way they are. And Saquon made all the difference. And Detroit, that NFC North is just the cream of the crop right now. And I didn't, we talked about the NFC North before the season, but man, I didn't see it like this. And even Chicago, the games they've lost, most of them been close. So they're not a bad team either.
Yeah.
But I think I'm getting more and more sold each week on this Buffalo Bills team coming out of the
No, I mean Buffalo. Well, the thing is for Buffalo, they got to get over the Kansas City hump, right? I mean, they beat them in the regular season, but they can never beat them in the playoffs. I think the thing for Buffalo, they can't slip up, right? They can't slip up because they got home field advantage right now.
Right. Easily.
You saw how critical that is. But what has been the difference in Buffalo? What has been the big difference in Buffalo this year with their team?
But
what do you think?
I think, well, first of all, they lost, their receiver and their tight end, right? I think that Josh Allen is playing smarter.
I think that, but I think the biggest thing is look what James Cook is doing at running back.
Yeah, okay, true.
I mean,
he's running.
They're running the ball with authority. They're running the ball well. It's taking some of that pressure off of Josh Allen. Josh Allen, he doesn't have the diva receiver. That's why someone they're saying, "Oh, we'd love Stephon Diggs with the Cowboys." No, I don't.
No,
I don't. I say, I mean, he was at Buffalo, and I mean, what is he wearing his welcome out in Houston? I mean, I do not want Stephon Diggs. He's probably a nice guy. Got a nice picture with him when he was with the Vikings. It seems like, but there's something there. There's something that just ain't jiving with me. And I don't think the Cowboys should go out and pay high money for a receiver. I think they need. I'd rather see them draft one. Now, if they're going to go out and buy one, like a guy like Higgins, I would rather have than Diggs. I don't need a diva because you have your CD who's your one. Like he's the guy that's you gonna want the ball to. You need a compliment to him, and so I don't want another diva. I'm not saying that CD is, but I don't need another one. I need a guy that he just gonna make plays. You know what I'm saying? So that's I'd rather see them draft a receiver versus paying a lot of money for a free agent.
So wait a minute. You have a Polaroid with Diggs?
I do. I met him. I went to the Viking Cowboy game years ago. It was Dez Bryant scored. It was like the only touchdown. It was kind of an ugly game, and we won. And that was like Cole Beasley, Dez Bryant. It was, I'm trying to forget the year, but Cousins was on the Vikings, and we ended up beating them. So,
well, you know what? Now the next question is he reached out to you for an autographed copy of that Polaroid?
He should. I mean, he should ask. I'll send him a copy of it. He should. But
exactly.
It was funny because he took a picture with me, and he had this look of disgust on his face. I'm all happy because we beat him, and he's just like,
tell him.
He's like, I don't want to take no picture.
Tell him for $10 in postage, you'll send it to him.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So wait, you guys got Cincinnati next, right?
We do.
Okay.
We do.
So I heard a stat yesterday during the game that in their losses, they've scored over 32 points in their losses. That's crazy.
They have no defense. They have no defense.
Insane.
They have no defense. And here's the thing with Dallas. I mean, Dallas is getting healthier. The Tank should be back. Diggs should be back. So they're getting healthier on defense. So our defense has actually been playing very well. Is it going to be good enough to slow them down? I don't know. I mean, you got Chase. I mean, they've got a pretty potent, obviously Burrow. You got a pretty potent offense, but their defense is terrible. So if Dallas, get healthy, Diggs and Bland, they kind of contain that receiving core. Dallas can get a win. I mean, they could beat them. Now they can lose to them too. Now, make no mistake about it. But if they beat them, then you go to Carolina. Where Carolina is, like I said, they're not going to quit. They're not going to be a pushover, but you could beat Carolina. It's going to be a home game, even though it's in Carolina. Then you're back home with the Buccaneers on Sunday night, which Buccaneers are like Jekyll and Hyde. You don't know what the hell you're going to do with them.
And you win that game.
You've got Philly, and Philly is next to the last game. You don't know where Philly is going to be. If Philly's locked into the 2 seed, do they rest Barkley? Do they say, you know what? He's our best guy. We don't want to run. You don't. And Dallas played Philly pretty damn tough, being as depleted as they were. If they're healthier, how does that work? And where's Philly's mindset at that point in the season? So you just don't know where it's going to be, where they're going to be. So if Detroit wraps it up, then you You just don't know.
And so, Cal, to your point, you know what? Sirianni's so stupid. Even if they did lock up whatever they're locking up, he probably would throw all those starters in there because he's a dummy.
Yeah. Yeah. But at the end of the day, if you're not the 1 seed, if Detroit ends up clinching the 1 seed by week 16, why? I mean, what's a two? What? Yeah, if you're going to be the 2 seed, so what? If you're the 3 seed, so what? You know what I mean? It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So I would be remiss, and we got to just tell you.
I don't want to go off 2 seed more than likely.
I don't want to go off on a tangent about this, but that hit on Trevor Lawrence yesterday.
Did you think that was dirty?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I watched it 10 times, and look at there's no way a premier athlete like that can somehow pull up, or at least maybe dive out and not drill him in the head like that.
Did he drill him in the head? It didn't look like he drilled him like in the head. It looked like his hand, like he kind of moved and then his hand hit him in the head. I mean, am I wrong? I didn't think it was that egregious because he slid and the guy was kind of like, it wasn't like he was sliding and the guy just launched himself as he was sliding. They both were he was jumping in the air and then he slid. I mean, what are you supposed to do?
Dude, I think that Trevor Lawrence, you saw him going into the slide. You can count fingers before the hit happened. That's too. He could have avoided that. Not dirty. Okay, so we have headshot 100, not dirty. Previous hits were questionable. Okay, so I didn't realize he had a history of that sort of thing. 20 years ago. Oh, Kareem, you're right, Kareem. 20 years ago, I mean, they can do whatever they want to quarterbacks. I mean, it's a different league nowadays. Rick, dirty as hell. I mean, at the end of the day, he's going to be suspended. He's going to lose a lot of money. I'm just waiting to see what the player, and I don't want to go off on a tangent, but the Players Association is, let's see how they come out on this one with the suspension and the fine, because it's all about player safety and all this other stuff. So I'm waiting to see how this plays out.
But, I've seen it happen. Now, I got to see where he was in the slide, but I'll give you an example. I've seen where it happened where a quarterback is running out of bounds. And the guy lays up, and then the quarterback fakes it, and then he keeps going for more yards. I mean, should that be a penalty?
Because no. You know what I
mean? It's like,
no, I agree, but this is different. No, this is I agree with you, but the rules have changed. He was sliding into second base at that point when that dude jumped and went down to hit him. He was already sliding into second base. I was shocked.
I got to see the timing of it. I didn't study the film. I didn't study the film.
I remember that Korean back in the day. Yes.
What, Pat Lawson did what?
Pat Lawson used to hit like that. Remember that linebacker?
They put Pat out of the league for that.
Exactly. I remember that, man. Damn, that's old school. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
So
that's correct. Back to the archives.
Long before the internet.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to start doing this, and I said, why don't we just go ahead and put flags on the quarterback? And just
I agree. But if you're gonna play by the rules, because you know that we're sticklers for the rules.
I've seen defenses wrap up the quarterback and they think they're blowing the whistle. They don't blow the whistle and they don't finish the hit, and then he gets away and then he runs or makes another pass. I'm saying is these defenders, and I'm not defending this guy because I didn't see the play. So these defenders, it's like, what are they supposed to do? You know what I mean? It's like, I know everything's geared to the offense, but they got to be able to play football too. And I'm not saying this guy was right. I'll say it one more time in case someone comes on and yells at me. But what are they supposed to do? Put some flags on the quarterback and just make it flag football for the quarterback only. That'll solve the problem.
Mark, aloha to Mark. And you're right. It is football. And I agree with you, but it's just like this dopey kickoff thing. That makes it look like flag football, the stupid rule they started in with this year. All these things to protect players, which basically are making it almost a non-contact sport anymore. I agree with you.
Yeah, Donovan and Deacon, you're talking about two of the best that ever did it back in the day.
Ray Lewis would be thrown in prison. Right. I mean, Ray Lewis, right, exactly. I mean, that's when football was football. It was a tough guy sport. I mean, nowadays, I don't know. At what point does it become basically a non-contact sport?
I don't know. I mean, that's what I mean. I just don't know what you expect. Again, I didn't see the play. It didn't look like the guy hit him in the head, like with his helmet. Like it looked like he kind of went to the side and someone said his elbow hit him. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Tatum.
You don't want to see anybody getting hurt. Yeah, Tatum was badass. I don't want to see anybody get hurt. But it's just odd to me that more players, unless maybe concussions are more known now, but I mean, I don't ever remember so many of these things happening where these people are getting knocked out cold. Now I know players are bigger, faster, stronger, all that kind of stuff, but maybe they need to be toughened up in practice. Maybe you need to have harder practices where they actually hit a little bit to so
until somebody gets hurt. And Brady said it best: don't hang your wide receivers out to dry. SoCal, forearm with a brace. That's right, he had a brace on, with a brace to the face. Chuck Bednarik knocked Frank Gifford unconscious and got a bonus.
Oh, I don't know. Because I watched even in college, they don't have as many of these fouls and these penalties.
No, they don't. But again, I didn't want to go off on a whole tangent. I mean, we got some people chiming in on it.
You might be right, Jimmy. Maybe it was a dirty. I'm gonna review the tape and I'm gonna come back with my conclusion on here on the next show. I'll say if I was wrong or right, because I don't want dirty play, but. It's just like when those guys, defenseless receivers, the receiver comes down like this after he catches the ball. The guy's already in position to make the hit. So the guy comes down. So the receiver the safety hits him in the head and they stay defensive. Was the safety supposed to move his body in midair and say, that's the spot I'm hitting. And he scrunches down to it. And then that makes it illegal. So I just like, when does it stop? I mean, it's football. It's a contact sport. People are going to get hurt. It's just the way it is. You want to keep the dirty plays out. So if that was dirty, he should be fined. He should be penalized, everything that he gets. But some of these plays I'm watching aren't dirty plays. It's just football plays. And you're given 15-yard penalties, game-changing penalties. I mean, game-changing penalties. I just think they need to put some common sense into it. You can't expect players to be, what was that guy in the movie? What was his name? The guy who could move around and do all that crazy shit.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Keanu Reeves.
Oh, Matrix, whatever it is.
Matrix. You can't be the Matrix. You know what I mean? You can't do all that shit.
No, but you know what though? I agree with you. In the interest of player safety, and half of these calls are subjective, right? Yeah. So, it happens in this game, but it happens in the other game. It's not called here, but it's called here, and if it's Tom Brady all those years, it's getting called every time. You know what I mean? So, but I agree. We're in agreement. But I'm saying when you check out, later on or more, check it out. I think you'll agree.
I'm going to look at it after I make sure I tell everyone to hit that subscribe if you're new to the channel, hit that like, hit the share, all that kind of good stuff. Appreciate all the new subscribers, all the new people. If you are new to the channel, make sure you leave a comment. Let us know you're new to the channel too. We'd love to hear that. And also, we've got some great interviews with former players that played football. You know what I'm talking? We're talking about football. We got some great interviews there. A lot of fun, a lot of stories, a lot of craziness, and a lot of it's a good time. So definitely check out some of the archives and the playlist of some of the interviews. It's good. So wanted to say that. So we got Denver, and we've got, and I put my money where my mouth was. Uncle Cheech said Denver. I said I'm doing Denver. You got Denver and the Browns. What do you think of this game? How do you think this game is going to play itself out? Cleveland's been a little feisty with famous Jameis at quarterback since they got rid of the massage therapist guys. But now but Denver, they wanted Sean Payton. They want to get rid of him, right? They had a rough year. You're seeing the effects of Sean Payton. He's changed the culture. He's changed a lot of the confidence. He's got them all thinking like they're winners. And that's what you like to see. What is that? Not the gang green, but the Orange Crush is back. Probably one of the best defenses in the NFL. Some are talking is Patrick Surtain. And if we have any Bronco fans in here, can you validate it? Some are saying, is he the best cornerback in Denver Bronco history? This is the guy Dallas wanted. Thankfully, I mean, I guess it wouldn't have been bad if we got him, but we would have given up on Parsons because it was the same draft. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But what do you think about this game?
I think Kareem Weed is right. I think Jameis is giving the sermon because they're going to get rolled tonight. I could tell you from experience. Why do you think I'm sitting out here right now?
Yeah,
Denver whooped our ass a couple weeks ago. Bo Nix is no joke. Denver's no joke, and I think they're going to take care of their business easily tonight with a double-digit win.
Yeah, and I Champ Bailey, Ultra, I'm with you. I say Champ Bailey was the best. Kareem, I think Kareem might be a Bronco fan. He said Champ Bailey. I agree. I don't know. Sometimes they do that clickbait, and they want you to talk about it. And Surtain, maybe he's good. Champ Bailey, to me, was the best cornerback. One of the best I've seen outside of Deion Sanders, but one of the best cornerbacks I've seen in my time. So.
Yeah, but Deion was better making business decisions.
He made business. Yeah, Champ Bailey would hit you. I mean,
okay.
that's
he roll you, man.
But yeah, it certainly, his career's not over yet. His career's not over yet. So he's got more to do. Isn't that what someone once said? Still got more to do.
Still got more to do. No.
Now, I'm gonna just tell Jimmy we're gonna do a story and then we'll get out of here because I want your opinion. I watched Airplane over the holidays, and I've watched Airplane probably 500 times, and I never got the joke until this last time I watched it.
All right,
it's an entirely different plane altogether.
It's an entirely different kind of flying altogether. It's an entirely different kind of flying. Yes.
I never are flying. I never thought when they all said it together, I never made sense to me. And then when he did it, my wife and I busted out laughing. I said, I finally understand why I never understood that. And
you ever seen a grown man naked?
That movie, I watched it, man, and I've probably seen it 500 times. I'm sure you've seen it 1,000.
Oh, easily. The best is when your kids can regurgitate the lines for you, right? That's the best.
It's still a funny movie. There you go. I mean, it's just there's so many lines, and it crosses all. Like it could never be made today because I think it offends pretty much every race, every
religion, ethnicity, everything,
every gender, whatever you have, it's going to offend you. If you wanted to, but it was such funny comedy. Oh, it was.
Need something to read, something light. The leaflet, right? I mean, what if the best? So what do we have for
famous Jewish athlete?
Famous Jewish sports legend. Yes. Remember, what do we have to eat tonight? Well, we have two choices: the steak or the fish. Yeah, I had lasagna. Like Uncle Cheech.
And then
there is only one river, there's only one sea. It flows through you and it flows through me.
Remember that?
Yeah, the best is out. Like, now lose my damn headset. Where she's like, then the best of the mom's on top of her, giving her chest impression.
Yeah, that old lady's all clapping and shit.
It is like
first we started them off with the basic fundamentals.
I think it was advanced American teaching techniques.
Tupperware will keep hot dog buns fresh for
through the monsoon months.
No,
what about when the emergency vehicles? I mean, we need all the Budweiser, Miller. See, now you got me on a roll, man. We could do the shit for hours.
Bro said he can't hang.
Just hang loose, blood. You're gonna catch and rebound on the meta side.
Mama ain't raised no dummy. I dog her rap.
Hey, cut me some slack, Jack. That was Mrs. Cleaver.
Miss Cleaver, yeah. Oh, I could do that whole movie, man. Love that movie.
Or when what's his name? When he's picked the wrong week to quit drinking and this and at the end when he's sniffing glue and he's upside down, his hair all messed up.
Yeah. Hey, he's gonna be on a lot. We got to talk him down. Don't put any pressure on him. Every said Sonny. Was he on this plane? He's gonna crash it. Just put him in the ocean. Lead him to the ocean. Leave him crash.
Put him in Lake Michigan. At least avoid killing innocent people. Then I like when he says, like you said, calm down.
Yeah.
Hey, Striker, flying a plane is nothing easier than riding a bicycle. Just harder to put baseball cards in the spokes.
Oh man, I'm happy with my thing. Let me see here. There it goes. Anyway, sorry, Jimmy. My keeps popping up on my computer.
Oh, what's causing those pop-ups?
I know, and then my little mouse isn't working. Hopefully, you can see me. I can't see you. I lost you for a minute.
Oh well, look at Jeff. Can you see the comment? What movie was that one? You remember that one? I know.
I can't see it. Gee,
you were a little hard on the beaver last night.
Was that? That's in. Well, that was Eminem did an 8 Mile. Was there?
No, that was a comedy. That was a comedy. That was lamb to lamb to lamb and a mega moo.
Was that?
Yeah. Remember when they had the talent show?
The talent show. Shit. Yeah, the talent show. Yeah. Dead end.
Dirtiest thing ever said on TV. I don't know. What was the dirtiest thing ever said on TV? Jeff. Animal House, Revenge of the Nerds. Yeah. Revenge of the Nerds. Animal House. Another great movie.
I've been trying to get a buddy of mine to watch Porky's. He's 20. He's only 24 years old. He's never seen it.
Oh,
and I
told cultured.
You watch it because you remind me of Pee Wee. You watch a movie, you're Pee Wee all day. That's all. That's all. Oh man. Oh man. But
shit.
Yeah. But I keep telling him to watch it, and he still hasn't watched it yet. I want to kill him. But yeah,
that's a great. This man looks inebriated.
I'm no expert. I swear this.
Yeah, I'm no expert. What do they call? Why do they call you meat?
The boy's deformed.
Yes,
you know who the lady is. She was in Webster. She was the mom in Webster.
Yes, I know. It's crazy when you think about it. Yeah. Hey, what about this one that doesn't always Bachelor Party? Tom Hanks, the movie Tom Hanks wants to forget about.
Yeah.
You know, Nick the Dick.
That's another good one. Yeah, me died. All these guys died. But
I know. God bless.
A movie. I mean, we could do a whole show on like all those movies. I watch them over and over. Those movies never get old. Never get old. Yeah,
no, they don't.
Cherry Forever.
Shit.
But anyway. All right, man. Well, we gotta get ready for Monday Night Football. Jimmy, you got any final thoughts?
Shit. Golly. Oh, yeah, here we go. Did your dog ever get up on your leg and rub up and down?
You never like married with children. Could you imagine trying to be married with children these days? You'd never happen.
Never.
That's another classic series, man.
Al Bundy is the best.
Yeah.
Greatest player polk high history.
Yeah. So.
All right. But, yeah, good stuff, man. Now my mind's moving on movie lines too. So.
I know.
Tony Katayan passed away. You kidding me? Oh, I didn't know that. The girl from Bachelor. I didn't know that. God bless her. Peg Bundy. 6 touchdowns. SoCal True saying tonight. So,
well, I hope you're right because I put money on the Broncos giving 6 points. I listened to Uncle Cheech. So
easy money. So, but no, I think great show. Great. What's that? No, that's it, man. I mean, the game's starting here in a couple minutes. It was a great show. I mean, we'd keep on this roll. We're going to be here for the next 3 hours.
More. We got a lot of off-season time. I'm sure we're going to have. We'll do some of this stuff with you guys. But hey, appreciate it. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. Make sure you guys, as you're leaving, hit that like, hit that subscribe. 140 you guys hanging out with us in the cave on Twitter and on X and on Facebook. We definitely appreciate it. It's December, Christmas time. Always a good feeling. Got my Christmas lights up, did all that stuff. So it's a great time for family. So definitely Cowboys Nation family. If you guys are in Carolina, your boy will be there. If you're at Dallas at AT&T for the Bucks Sunday night game, I'm bringing a whole crew with me. We're going to have a good time. So hopefully I'll run into you guys there. But until then, we'll be live with Kelly K9 on Wednesday. We'll get you guys ready for the Bengals on Monday night. And of course, Greg and I will probably do something on Sunday, even though we don't play. And I may be popping in here and there. So that's why you guys want to hit that alert, hit that bell, because you never know when your boy's going to be popping in. So appreciate all the comments. All you Texas fans, you guys know I'm only messing with you. I just do it to get under your skin because you guys make fun of me. When my team is down, you guys like to rub it in, so I got to give it back to you. But I hope all your teams win. My team's not in the championship weekend, so hopefully that whoever you're rooting for wins it. Get this playoff thing going. We'll have a good time. So appreciate all the love, Jimmy. As usual, it's great to have you back. It's good you've been on hiatus. You've been living the high life. Now you're back down to reality. Working for a living. So have a good one. We'll see you guys. Take care.
Give me somebody that's hungry. Give me somebody that's hungry. I need somebody.